Hey guys, it's Ashley with Pugs and Pearls, and I am finally back with a nail review video. I feel like when I looked at my videos on my channel, it has been a long time since I've actually done any mini reviews or just any kind of nail polish reviews, and I think it's just because October's been a crazy month and we're kind of coming to an end and November's about to start. This may go up in November, I'm not even sure. And I know we're not even in summer anymore, and this is going to be a summer kind of collection, but I still think it has some relevance. And just so we can go ahead and get started, we're going to be talking about the OPI Tru Neon. This is kind of like their mini kit that they came out with. They came out with two, and if I'd have known better before I purchased this one, I would have purchased the other one because it came with more minis and not a base coat, because I already had a white. I could have used that. But anyway, that's just a side note. We're going to be talking about this today, and one of the reasons why I thought this one was still relevant to talk about was because I honestly didn't hear that much about it, and I'm not sure if that's because it wasn't good, or maybe people didn't like it, or maybe I completely missed that on YouTube when people were talking about it, but I really didn't see much. And I've started to see it in Ulta a lot, like there's still a lot left, so I still know you can get them, which is important. But I also think if there's a lot left over, you're going to start seeing them show up in your discount stores like Marshall's, so you might be able to get these for a discounted rate. And since those tend to kind of come after the season is over, I figured this was still relevant. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. I typically go through each shade for you, and then I give you swatches on my little swatch wheel. We talk about each one and I tell you my thoughts. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so if we take a close look, we first have this yellow, which is No Fox Yellow. This little orange is Pants on Fire. This little pink is Precisely Pinkish. And then our little, there we go, our little blue guy here is called Correctamundo. And then this little white dude, sorry, they're not really sitting well, this is called Put a Coat on It Top Coat. So again, this was a summer collection that came out. There are some more shades, but these are the four that come in the mini version. Okay guys, so let's start out with the white one. This is the Put a Coat on It. This is the Natural Nail Base Coat. And this has kind of like a nice kind of pattern up here, although I think it's just a sticker. Like I think you could pull this off, but I like different patterned tops, so that's not a big deal. And then again, it just has on the bottom, Put a Coat on It, or is that, yeah, there we go. Anyway, this is just your standard white polish. I actually prefer Alpine Snow to this. This takes 2 to 3 coats to be completely opaque depending on your nail. On some nails this does 2 for me, on some nails it does 3. I do find though that I don't feel like it evenly lays out. I feel like sometimes you can still see some ridges, which I don't particularly love. But for this, you're putting it under the neon to make the neon pop. And for some of these shades that I'm going to show you, you absolutely do have to have a base white coat for it to really pop. Not all of them, but most of them. So we're going to kind of talk about that. So on the swatch wheel, you're actually not going to see any of the white because I put white on every other one, so I can show you what these shades look like sheer and then what they look like when you do put them over a white coat, so you can see the actual difference. So we're going to go ahead and get started with these. Alright guys, so the first one up is No Fox Yellow. And if you've been on my channel for a long time, you will know that I'm not the hugest fan of yellow. I just don't think it looks that great on my skin tone. But you'll notice that this is a very, very sheer polish on its own. In fact, on the swatch wheel, this is 3 coats and it's still sheer. I still feel like you can kind of see through it. So that's what it looks like by itself. Now put over a base coat, I did 2 coats over white, 2 coats of yellow over white. You can definitely see it's gonna pop a lot more over that white base coat. So I definitely think the yellow looks a lot better over the white base. Okay guys, next up is an orange, again, very sheer. This is Pants on Fire, which I like the name. I think it sounds great. Liar, liar, pants on fire. And so this is just your standard orange. Again, a very, very sheer polish. This one also took 3 coats on the sheer side. So this is it without anything, no base coat. And then this is it with a base coat, 2 coats over the white. So you can definitely see that it's going to pop a lot more, or wait, did I show you backwards? No. you can definitely see, I don't know if you can tell as much, it pops so much more on that base coat. Again, just they're sheer shades, so they're going to work a lot better over the base. And they were built to be sheer to go on the base. But I think for me personally, I like neons that don't need a white base. I think if you're good enough on your own, you won't need a white base. But these were built this way, so you do have to keep that in mind when you're looking at this collection. Okay guys, this next one up is the pink one. It's called Precisely Pinkish, and it is a very, very hot, hot pink. This one is slightly more opaque than the other two that I just showed you. It's a little bit deeper. It still is sheer, and you can tell a difference versus white and non-white coats. So right here is your 3 coats sheer, and then here is your 1 to 2 coats over white. You actually can get this very nice in 1 or 2 coats. So again, slightly more opaque than the others. I think this looks really, really nice over that white base. Alright guys, and last up is Correctamundo. It's kind of like a deep navy. This is the most opaque out of all of the shades that I have. I would say the clear side, or the no base versus base, almost looks the same, so I almost don't feel like you have to have a base to get the same effect. This is what it looks like up close. I definitely did a 3 coat on the sheer to get it to the same as a 2 coat over the base. So here you go. Can you tell which one's the base and which one is the sheer? This one is without any base, and this one has a base. So 3 coats sheer, 2 coats over a base of white. So I think these look the most similar. I see a slight variation in person, but it's almost unrecognizable. So for me, this is the most opaque one out of the entire 4 that I have for you. Personally, out of the 4 that we have, I would pick as my favorites, I think this pink worked the nicest. I'm not normally the biggest fan of pink, but I think this one looks the most neon. It looks really, really nice. The coat is nice. It's smooth. I don't know, it does what I think a neon is supposed to do. And I just like the color of the blue. I don't even think that it looks very neon to me. I don't feel like it falls in the neon category. But I do like the color of this blue, and again, I feel like this one's most opaque, so you don't need the base if you don't want it. I think they all, for the most part, do look a little bit better, if not a ton better, over a white base. But those are my thoughts. I'm curious as to what you guys think of this collection. Did you buy anything from this collection? Do you even remember this collection? So this is what they all look like. Again, one shot up close. Different kind of colors with that kind of concept of needing a white base. I don't know. I don't think they're my favorite that OPI has ever come out with. Like I said, I think that pink one really was the top one for me personally. But I'm so curious to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below, or if you have any questions for me. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!